I didn't know what a mixed episode was until this past month, when all I've known are mixed episodes lately. That is bipolarity. So, coming to you live from the scene of the crime against cleanliness. I haven't been able to fold my laundry for like 3 weeks. This pile used to be in a squished little laundry bag in my room, then it moved to the study. Then yesterday I was like, ooh, if I pour it all out onto my couch, I won't be able to deny that I have to do this and I'll be forced to do it. Did not work because I just feel so overwhelmed. My brain feels like the most cluttered, chaotic MTA subway platform in Times Square. The mixed episodes have taken over my life. I've had to call out of work multiple times, which sucks because yes, my coworkers and bosses are super supportive, but it just feels bad, you know? I was gonna do the deep dive into whatever I've been experiencing a little bit later when, you know, I cleaned up and set the scene and set the mood and whatever, but who the hell cares? Everything feels like it's going up in flames right now, so might as well just tell you what I've been feeling right here. The last video I did was about how I'd been struggling and feeling kind of sad and feeling just not great. I'd stopped my meds a month ago at that point, and things had been kind of on and off, but generally I'd been feeling pretty okay. With the occasional low dip, everything was still kind of functional. Over the past 3 weeks since then, dude on the motorcycle, please stop, I can't. Don't you know I'm trying to have a spiel here? Anyway, over the past 3 weeks, I have not been any of those things. I have not been functional. I haven't been sad. I haven't even been anxious. I've just been stuck. So stuck. Not numb, not excited, not happy, not angry. Well, some angry, but none of the heightened emotions were coming through. I was just kind of like there, paralyzed, like I was floating in, you know those jewelry pieces where the leaf or flower or whatever is suspended in resin and then they solidify it? That's how I felt. I felt like I was stuck in like a see-through bubble and I was interacting with the world in some false capacity, but primarily I was just, my brain was not how it usually feels. It wasn't me that was saying or doing things. It was just automatic, like, teller machine responses, customer service voice, essentially. It was bad. I just could not focus. I'd close my eyes and there would be like a buzzing sound in the background, like there was a live wire exposed that was connected to something else and that connection wasn't fully strong. When I opened my eyes, it felt like the buzzing was not in my head anymore. It was in my eyes and the rest of my body. All of this probably sounds so way out there and unbelievable for someone who's never experienced any of these things, but it happens and it has been happening every day. I literally at points have felt drunk, like buzzed or tipsy or actually drunk for no reason. I haven't touched caffeine or alcohol or any excess amounts of sugar even for the past 2 months, and I still have felt like there was stimulants in my body, like something was keeping me on that live wire. And then there were points where the live wire would completely just like erupt into flames and I just feel like my whole body was on fire because I felt so uncomfortable, and like anything that touched my skin would make me uncomfortable and angry and so irritable. Oh boy, these are all really weird things that I have not really experienced before. I mean, I have, but in really small spurts, and it would usually go away. But I've been on meds for 4 years, and taking those out of the equation completely has changed everything. I wake up and I feel really excited at the thought of doing things, and really paralyzed because I feel like I have no energy. So it's like I have too much energy in my mind, but no energy in my body. Sometimes I'll have physical energy and no energy up here. And there's no reason or rhyme to why this happens to me, I think. Not that I've been able to trace a pattern yet, at least. That's the other thing. Patterns show up sometimes over months, weeks, days, sometimes over years and decades. I don't got the time to wait around for a decade before I'm functional again. What the hell? That's insane. Well, I mean, I'm insane, but that's even more insane. No, I'm not insane. I should stop saying that. The verbiage is the other core component. You can't call yourself crazy. You can't call yourself insane. You can't call yourself X, Y, and Z. I don't know, man. In these moments when I just don't want to live anymore, it feels pretty insane. It's like human beings are generally primed to survive, right? They've evolved to do the things that are most crucial to staying alive. Why my brain not do that? My brain not doing the staying alive thing. It's not pursuing life. It's kind of just off somewhere, just shut in a corner in the darkness, unable to get itself out, unable to figure out the maze that is bipolarity. I was thinking about this, obviously, because what else do I have to do when I'm paralyzed and unable to do anything else? Thinking is the only option. Overthinking, to be specific. Why is awareness so important? Because the known illnesses known by the by and large population, known illnesses are so much easier to give yourself a pass for. Even if you know that you're struggling, when society validates it and the people around you validate that you need to take rest, it becomes so much easier. For example, when I'm depressed, when I'm anxious, more so when I'm depressed, because depression is something that we've talked about now over the past 5 years, more and more in frequency, in intensity. We've covered a lot of ground with depression. I'm not saying the work's done, obviously, but it's a lot easier to say, hey, I'm depressed, and people are like, oh, take care of yourself. Anxiety, a little bit. I think the further depths of it are still unexplored, but generally people are like, oh yeah, take care. I have found very little discourse and conversation around other things like eating disorders, bipolarity, even chronic physiological illnesses like PCOD, or I'm sure there's a bunch other examples we can all come up with, but no one's talking about these as much. And as much is the key phrase, because the more you talk about something, the easier and more accessible it becomes in common parlance. So it just becomes more known and accepted and socially not as taboo to say these things, or there's no strange otherness associated with things. Like when I tell people I'm bipolar, first reaction is, oh, I would never have guessed. What does that mean? What is bipolar supposed to look like? It's not always crazy people doing crazy things. It's not that way at all. In fact, I've never done half of the things that some other bipolar people have done, and they've never done half of the things that some other bipolar people have done. So it's like, it's so hard to pinpoint what is going on when you don't know anyone else who's talking about or going through similar things. I guess I don't know what my hope was in sitting down here and ranting or talking about this today, because this isn't cute, aesthetic, pretty in any way. It's kind of gross, silly, whatever you want to call it. I'm hoping that the more we talk about these things, the easier it gets for other people to start talking about them and spreading more information. It just feels really, really scary and isolating and hopeless. So I guess this is my way of generating some hope for myself as well as other people. I think I also wanted to document these moments when I'm in the thick of it because I don't know what is going on. And the not knowing is just as important as having a diagnosis or being able to pinpoint what you're experiencing and fixing it or finding some sort of workaround or solution, whatever. Because not knowing is the scariest thing when it comes to mental illness. Not being able to figure out what is going on is like the first layer of scary things for me. The moment I know, oh, this is X, this is Y, this is anxiety or whatever, it becomes so much easier to get a handle on it because you're aware. Currently, I don't know when this is gonna stop. I don't know how long this feeling is going to last. I don't know when I can make social plans or work plans or life plans. I don't know anything about when I can be functional next. That's just something I'm coming to terms with. It's hard, it's sin, but I'm coming to terms with that because what choice do I have? I didn't know what a mixed episode was until this past month when all I've known are mixed episodes lately. And thankfully, Google has some information. Reddit has been tremendously helpful. Take it with a grain of salt, obviously, because it's all subjective and anecdotal. But hearing people's experiences has helped me kind of put into perspective how different and how varied the narratives and stories around bipolarity can be. So I guess there's some solace in community. I don't know, I'm trying to find a silver lining where there kind of is none because this has been going on for way too long for me to find any kind of positive spin on it. Breathe, Upney, breathe. It's gonna be okay. I don't know if it's gonna be okay, but we say it's gonna be okay until we can't say it anymore. Or something changes and it actually is okay. Who the hell knows? Stay tuned for whatever comes next.